Hey there, hope you're doing phenomenal, having a great day. It's Tuesday, it's absolutely gorgeous out here. Sometimes here, folks, it's Pensacola, Florida, and the humidity is brutal. It's certainly getting there, and I am really wishing that I had that place in North Carolina, in the mountains, or, eventually I'm going to have a place that's either on the side of a river or a brook, a stream, creek, whatever, something big enough that I can get in there and swim around, or at least lay down or sit in, or it's going to have one fantastic mountain view. Either one, it's going to happen. So, this whole thing about gathering wealth, there's a lot of hype out there, and for about $700 you can rent a Lamborghini and you can drive it somewhere and then take pictures, and you could drive it up into somebody's driveway and take pictures like it's your place. And there's a lot of people that are giving advice on how to become a multimillionaire. I don't say millionaire any longer because a million's nothing. Well, I take that back. It's a decent accomplishment, okay? But if you think a million is going to last you for any length of time, no, it's not. Now they say 5 million. A high net worth, I've been told, is now 10 million or more. What they consider to be mega rich is right at the 25 to $30 million mark. And I could be wrong on that. I know a couple people in the 25 to 30 mark and that are above that as well. Actually, one of them I talked to 2 weeks ago, and there was if I remember, it was I think it was a 1,020 apartment complex in Dallas that I got an email on, and and it was one, I want to say $98 million was the price tag. It was a huge complex. And when I backed the numbers out, it came down to each unit cost $86,000, which is not bad at all, okay? So I looked at that, and, I've never asked anybody about how do you come up with financing for $98 million? And I'm like, you know what? You need to put forth at least a little bit of effort into that. And the reason for that is that you have no idea what will happen or can happen if you actually put forth any effort into doing something. And the thing about it is that if you never take the shot, you never go out to the court, you never, buy the pressure washer, get the dump trailer, buy the ladder, start cleaning gutters, whatever it is, okay, it won't ever happen for you. And there's a good friend of mine, I got mad respect for this guy. He had started he started cutting people's grass out of a Ford Escort. It was a hatchback, and he'd lift the lawnmower in and out. And he got to a point where he made enough money and then got a trailer hitch put on that Escort, by a little trailer, to be able to put the lawnmower in, and I'm sure his back thanked him for that. And so, lo and behold, this thing rocks along and everything. And being void enough of ego to listen to some people that were instrumental in his life as far as catapulting his success, he did. He listened. And they gave him some advice. They told him some things to do, made some suggestions, and he did them. And with that came one hell of a business that makes a tremendous amount of money. And so, if he had never started cutting grass, that business would never be there. And now he does extremely high-end landscape fabrications of like the inside of casinos, hospitals, extravagant nursing homes that have botanical gardens and things of that nature. And, if you want like a Key West backyard or something like that, he's the guy to call. But it ain't going to be cheap, I assure you of that, okay? It does come with a price tag. He gets paid for his experience and for his vision that he has. And his work is really nice. It's very beautiful to look at. And I say all of this in the sense that, when I went to this guy that's supposedly worth $50 million, and I said, where would you go to get $98 million in financing? And he had to think about it, and he said, I'll get back to you on that, And naturally, right away, my mind says, there's no way you can make that happen, Robert. You can't swing that. But my mind's told me other stuff before, and I've gone against it and done real well. And the thing about it is that, my suggestion to anybody is they say, hey, I want to build wealth. We don't talk about being rich. You want to be rich, get $1 million in the bank and watch how long that lasts. We're talking about wealth. Wealth is cash flow. Wealth is money coming in. I'd much rather have $50,000 a month coming in every month instead of having $1 million sitting in the bank, or $2 million, okay? Give me the $50,000 every month, every day of the week. Thank you, all right? So here's the thing is that really what it comes down to is that most of the time, if you're watching this video, you're probably searching for some answers and find yourself in a situation where you're almost at the very top of your paycheck in the sense of your bills. All your money's going out. Very little bit staying in, okay? You might be in a situation where you, for lack of better words, can't downgrade. Some people have stayed at the same job, and unfortunately, rent's going up. Their expenses has gone up. Their kids have gotten older. And inflation's gone up much quicker than people's paychecks and pay grades, what they get paid per hour, okay? So then it becomes a situation of, how is it that I adjust or compensate for this, okay? Now, what I'm about to say is not going to be favorable to most people, and they're going to come up with every excuse that they can, and they're going to say things like, well, it only works with others, and you already know how to fix houses, so this came easy for you, and the list goes on and on and on, okay? And I'll share a story with you, and this is one of my first successes working with somebody. Good friend came to me and said, look, I can't make it month to month. I have problems with my money. You seem to do real well, and I'd like to sit down and talk to you. So we did. And the simple fact was he just did not make enough money each month to make ends meet. And where he was living was not extravagant. Could he have gotten a higher paying job? That I really don't know. Now, granted, he could have, gotten out of the apartment and rented a room from somebody and moved in with them, okay? I get it, and that's possible, but when you're in your late 30s, early 40s, adult male, that's not the most favorable thing to look forward to. Oh, I'm going to be a roommate. So, and I'm not saying this justifies him not doing it, okay? Not at all. But what we did come up with is I asked him, I said, what would you like to do? Money's no object. And he said, man, I'd really like to cook for people. I'd like to have a place for people to come and get food and everything. And I said, well, how big is that restaurant? He said, I wouldn't open a restaurant. I would open up a food place that you came, everything was laid out like a cafeteria, in warming bins, behind the glass and everything, had the heat lamps on it, and water below it and heating up and everything. And you'd come in and basically get, a dinner for four or two, or, just a single serving plate. And then you'd take it. It would always be carry out. I don't want to do any dine-in or anything like that. And I was like, oh, okay. That's what you would really like to do. He said, yeah, I really would. And I said, okay, well, how much do you think something like that would cost? Oh man, you're probably looking at $100,000 for the building, to get this, to get that, to get everything set up and whatnot. Probably $100,000. And I was like, okay. I said, what if I could show you how to do this for $500? What? I said, yeah. Man, I'm all ears. I said, start cooking out of your house. Start making meals. You know enough people right now that you can put the word out, start you an email list, and make it, and then have orders, fulfill the orders, take the food, deliver it, whatever you need to do. And this guy started doing that, and he built up one hell of a business for a couple of years. And then he finally got to a point where his pay at his straight job no longer dictated him having to do that. And then this thing got to where he was cooking almost, 4 or 5 days a week. So now it's like, as with a lot of people like us, we create a monster we can't get away from. Okay, what it did do, though, is it gave him a platform that he started leveraging his time and making more money, okay? And that's what you're going to end up having to do if you want to get into the wealth game. You're going to have to start doing something. You're going to have to create a side hustle. You're going to have to start doing something that you're getting paid 2, 3, 4 times the amount of what you're getting paid right now at your regular job, okay? I'm not telling anybody to go and quit and start your own business immediately, okay? What I do suggest you do is something of this nature, is start a side hustle, and then when it equals and you're making 3 times as much with your side hustle as your regular job, then think about quitting, okay? Some of you are in a situation that you have a really good job that's got fantastic benefits, retirement, health insurance, you got families to think of and everything like that, and you decide not to. Phenomenal. I get it. It's much easier that way, and you got a pension or a 401k to look forward to and everything. Just start socking money away with that, and then do something on the side to subsidize that and everything. Because, folks, I'm here to tell you, in my town, just an example, decent nursing home is about $5,500 a month. Okay, so you figured that in 15 or 20 years, I'm 53 years old. We'll say like I go into the nursing home in 27 years. That thing's probably going to be about $15,000, $20,000 a month. All right. So, how is it that you plan on being able to pay $15,000 or $20,000 a month if you have to go into a nursing home? Some people say, well, my kids will take care of me. You better hope they do. I don't want any part of one of those state-run facilities that, I've been into to visit some people, and they are not a nice place, and they sure don't smell good, okay? So get a high leverage situation occurring in your life. Start taking that money, okay? One of the easiest things that you can do right now is wholesale real estate. And basically what it is you search out a piece of property, find a motivated seller that's going to sell it, that will let you put it under contract for less money than you're going to sell, okay? I know a guy that did it with a piece of property, and he marked it up $50,000, and it was still a good deal for this person over here, and so they ended up selling it. And he got a $50,000 assignment fee because he assigned the contract to somebody else. He flipped the paper, not the real estate. He didn't flip real estate. He flipped the paper. He sold the right to buy that property at this price to these people, okay? The thing about it is that you need to know some numbers. You need to be familiar with real estate. However, it can produce a tremendous amount of money, okay? First house I ever flipped, I actually bought it. I didn't flip the paper on it, put a roof on it. And I think we ended up making, I say that the company that I have, I think we made $11,000 or $12,000 off of that. And what I was needing to do myself is I was needing not to buy fixer-uppers and have them sit for any length of time, because I've already got some and we're in the process of getting them up and going, and so that I can have them rented. My goal is in a year and a half to have everything done that needs to be rented and get that ball going. And so that, I can go ahead and, have everything rented out and whatnot. The thing about it is that this thing really sucks for about the first 5 to 7 years, okay? And it's really gonna suck for about the first 2 to 3 years, okay? I don't recommend to anybody to immediately start not starting a business and then putting money into real estate immediately and in the stock market, and I'll tell you why. That is such a slow grind, and that is what we call the long game, okay? The only way that you're gonna make fast money with real estate is you're gonna wholesale it, or you're gonna flip houses, okay? And if you're going to flip houses, get a mentor that has flipped no less than 400 houses in their career and that has a real good grasp of the area that you're going to be buying in. And the reason I say that is that, and hopefully they're competent enough that you're going to get you'll get all 400 properties experience when you sign up with that person, okay? A lot of people immediately are going to say, well, Rob's trying to sell me some mentoring. Yes, I do, and yes, you will pay for it if you want to come on board with me. If you don't, that's fine, but get somebody. And the reason I say this, folks, is that I started in my career 22 years ago with real estate. I would be worth considerably more than $10 million had I had somebody that had 20 years experience that I got under their wing and they started showing me the ropes, and for you to start doing anything without any mentoring, it's almost like not knowing how to swim and getting thrown into the ocean. You have no idea which way to go. All you know is that, hey, if I stay up here, I can breathe. If I go down there, I'm going to drown. That's all you know. And so the thing is that, and if you're going to be a hustler, you're going to be somewhat narcissistic. You got an ego and everything. I get it because you're already saying, hey, I can do this better than most people can. And that's why I'm going to succeed. The problem, though, is that, like with me, I got 22 years of experience of doing this game. And if you're not going to reach out and find somebody that has that, you're going to bump your head, bump your knees and stub your toes a whole bunch. And, the last person that I mentored, I ended up saving them $80,000. And he was like, that's the best money I've ever spent, Your results might not be the same with whoever it is that you go with and everything, but here's the thing is that person and anybody that's mentored with me, they have access to my network. They can call me up and say, hey, look, man, this guy said, $8,500 to do a change out on an AC. And I'm like, I got a guy that does them for $5,800, give me a call, whatever, And so then it becomes a situation where, you're forging a relationship with somebody that's already well established, okay? And do you know how many deals come across my lap that I don't want to embark on because I don't want to get wrapped up in it? A lot. And if you've been with me, so to speak, and everything, I put them out to those people first. I let them have pick of the litter, and then if I can't make anything happen with that, then I put it out to the rest of the people and everything. So, there's a lot of advantages, but again, this thing's going to suck for 2 to 3 years, But once you start building up a little bit of money and everything, you'll get some cash flow, you're going to get some bank and everything, and then we can make a move. It's like you get this pressure washing business going and everything, and, and then before you know it, in a year, you got, 15,000 saved up, you got 20,000 saved up and everything, and then boom, what do? You go and buy a rental property. And so, and then you do this next year. What do? Boom, you go and buy another rental property. And then, about year 5 or 6, because of all the cash flow from the rental properties, plus we're still doing the pressure washing and everything, we might buy 2 rental properties that year. So it's going to happen for you. Don't get discouraged. It's completely natural to be, oh my God, this thing's never going to happen, but it will. All right, trust me on that. It will. And the thing is that everybody wants to tell you this thing's easy. It's not. It's not going to happen overnight. It is a grind. You are going to have to, the person that can deal with rejection the best will be the most successful, okay? And I almost think that it would probably be really beneficial to anybody that was a hustler that they should have to do door-to-door sales. Because when you can get told no so many times to your face, that builds something within a person that is extremely beneficial. There's a lot of you watching this that you're not going to do anything because you're afraid of regret. You're going to be afraid of failure or rejection. There's all kinds of sales positions that are available, ready for somebody to sit down in that seat, start picking up the phone and sell it. okay? And they could be some big items, you might go to work for Caterpillar selling, whatever, bulldozer or whatever, and you might make $50,000 on one. It might take you 6 months to make that, but you're going to start getting pretty good at it. You're going to learn how to talk the talk and walk the walk, just like, I heard something the other day. It was from Alex Hermazi. Somebody says, well, let me get some time and I'm going to think about it. We both know that decisions don't take time. Decisions take information. What questions have I not answered for you that's preventing you from moving forward on this? Now they have to come up with an answer, and once you fulfill it, that means they're obligated to it. Oh, shit. Always devotes, a minimum of 30 minutes a day to improve yourself and your skill. We're all selling, folks, okay? Every day you're marketing yourself and you are selling yourself, whether you work for somebody or not. I worked for the cable company in the early 2000s, and I'll never forget, I asked somebody about something, as far as moving up, getting into management, and they said, you need to start going to every function. You need to start doing this. You need to start playing on the softball team. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I was like, oh my God, no. I am not going to do all that stuff. And they're like, the more people that get to know you, the better your chance of moving up. So, and one person put it to me like this. Let me ask you this. You got this person over here that that you're seeing, and that's all at these company functions, and they're doing these things on the weekends, and they're doing these things after hours. And then you got this person that it applies that you've never met before, and you don't see them doing anything extra. Who would you give the job to? I don't make the rules, folks, but I got to play by them. So there you go. Don't get discouraged. Get some high leverage going. Bank that cash. Get a down payment. Get some going into that mutual fund or that ETF or whatever, and then just keep it rolling. I bought 146 shares of, it's a closed-end fund called CLM. I bought 146 shares this morning. I won some money playing cards the other day, and one of the things I do is take 10% of that and invest in that market right there. So, just keep the hustle going, and you'll get there. It's not going to happen overnight, but I will say this: once it does start getting rolling, it's pretty freaking cool. Want you to have a wonderful day. If you want 15 minutes of my time for free, send me an email. It's in the description. Include your phone number. I'll give you a call, and you get to talk to me 15 minutes for free. Have a wonderful day.